going on, YouTube fam? This is J Money here. I went to Nationals. I made it to day 2. I didn't top 64. I lost out of round 10 to a pure Sky Striker player. Now, even if I did win both rounds, I still don't think I would have made it because I looked for that guy. And he won. He did win both round 10 and round 11. And he still missed out. He got 75th. So even if I had have won both of those, I might not have made it. So there was a World Challenge player that did top 64. So for those of you who are wondering, no, that was not me. That was not me. I got 146th. I won my round 11. It was easy, 2-0. Anyway, so before I went to Nats, I went to a pretty sizable tournament. There's 3 engages for first place. Second place got a nice little big old box of special edition for Flood. There's 114 players there. I played against 7 Sky Striker Trick Stars, 4 pure Sky Strikers, 1 Pendulum, and I got second place. Every single match except my round 1, which was my one of 2 losses, was just a straight 2-0 until I got to the top 8, and then everything was going to game 3. With that, the only reason I even lost round 1 was game 3. I opened just an anomaly hand. I opened 3 World Legacy World Chalices, 1 World Legacy Succession, and a Guard Dragon. So, there's no way, I wasn't even worried because I knew I wasn't going to get a hand like that again, and I didn't. So, and the finals, I got Joel comboed game 1 and game 3. So, nothing you can do about it there. If they have it, they have it. But, I'm not even sweating it because I know that combo is not going to survive another ban list. So, yeah, there's that. So, anyway, 114 players, beat them all. 2-0, 2-0, 2-0, 2-0, 2-0. Get top 16, 2-0. Most of my matches, ended in, 15 minutes or less. So, anyway, what we're going to do, you got me some notes here for the rounds. I'm not going to go over each and every one of them. I'm just going to go over the matches. So, round 1, I go against a hybrid. I lose the die roll. And I lose that match due to time. And me getting sphere moded in time. Or, while we have 2 minutes or less on the clock. So, there's that. Round 2, I went against Pendle. Swift 2-0. Won the die roll. Make Christie game 1. He can beat it. Game 2, he makes Dweller, Jackal, Vortex. I kaiju'd over his Vortex. And made Imduck with the Venus. Because he had Jackal just right in zone 4. Just conveniently for me. So I go Battle Phase, I kill it. Then I proceed to, tribute to Summon World Legacy. I don't link into it. I make a Link's partner Imduck and go into Unicorn, so it's co-linked and spin back his Dweller. So I leave him with a Kaiju and his Metaltron. So the moment he started looking at his own cards, I knew he was going to make a mistake. So he Pendulum summoned his Zolt extra deck, and I go Legacy Effect Tribute, send them all to the graveyard, and I trigger Legacy Effect, summon Lee and a Beckon, and I search another Legacy for the next turn. He normal summons Poison, and he goes, he attacks over my Imduck, he attacks my Unicorn, he attacks my Beckon, and leaves me with Lee. And I go draw, banish Legacy, add Heart, activate Heart, I pop off some more. I main Ningirsu, I go for a draw 2 combo, I make Firewall, then I make Trigate, so I have a Ningirsu Firewall Trigate on the board. I cleared all of his monsters, and I have Christie in hand, and I'm like, okay, I already used Guard Dragon and everything, so I calculate damage. I can only do 77 damage. So, no lie, I linked Trigate and Ningirsu into a Skull Dread just to trigger Firewall's effect to summon Christia and give it the boost it needed for me to attack for game, and I was successful. So, that was the 2-0. That match lasted 10 minutes. Round 3, ABC, 2-0. and that took about 15 minutes. I should not have won game one. I go open Lazuli, World Legacy, which sounds good, but I don't have Venus, I don't have Brilliant Fusion, I don't have Lee. No Transmodify, no access to no vanillas. So open Lazuli, Legacy, Exodius, the Kaiju Field Spell, and a Call by the Grave. No lie, I literally just activate Field Spell, normal summon Lazuli, go into Linkuriboh, set Call by the Grave, pass. I figured I was playing Buster, or by when he got his hanger, and you normal summon C, equip B, and he goes battle phase. So at this point, I know he's going for the Clark Rishka combo. So he attacks, and I sack off Linkuriboh to give a second counter to the field spell. And he goes Mayvesu Clark Rishka, tries to chain block his B with his C. I don't even care about the B, so I call by the grave to C, so he doesn't summon another monster from hand and continues comboing off. So I go draw, and I summon Exodius. And I drew into Leaf for turn, by the way, which is good, but I still have any vanillas. Like, if you don't have any access to vanillas, you can only play Lee or Legacy, you can't do both. So I attack. Since Clark Rishka is 0 and Exodius is 0, I knew Exodius wasn't going to die, so I foolishly and go main phase 2, tribute Exodius for Legacy, sack off Legacy for to add Lee back to hand. I summon a Guard Dragon and a Beckon, and I link the Beckon into a Imduck, just so I can get the extra monster. So I go link both of those, I make Orm, summon Lee, and I searched with Lee. And then I searched Gameciel with Waterfront. So at this point I'm thinking, I have to summon this Gameciel if I'm going to win. Otherwise he's going to get his hanger equips and all that stuff. Normally you would just pitch Gameciel to add Lee back to hand. And then use Orm to revive Gameciel that way. But the problem was I already used Lee's effect and grave to sack off the Legacy. So I had to get crafty. So I decided to banish Guard Dragon to summon back the Beckon, link into an Imduck, link into Goblin. I use the effect to discard, but I don't normal summon. I literally discard just to get the Gameciel to the graveyard. And I summoned the other Leaf from hand to Orm's zones. And I had to link into Imduck just to get something over to Orm's zones because I already used Guard Dragon's effect. So that's how I did that. And then I went Orm, tribute the Lee, Gameciel, he couldn't play. In game 2, he opens a board, and I just break the board and OTK him. So, round 4, Zephyr, I won the die roll on that one, and I lost that match. Game 1, I get everything. No, I don't get everything. I use everything I have just to make Scoldred to fix my hand. He hits me with Gamma, and so I'm ready to scoop. But I need to know what he's playing. So I pass, and he goes, activates his Zephyr search card, and gets into the field spell. So I'm like, okay, now we're going to scoop go to game 2. Got everything I need to know. Side of the Unending Nightmares, open it, and I didn't even open that good. I opened okay, but he had Gamma, so I'm like, what can you do? So I just set the Unending Nightmare and passed, and I literally dropped myself by 4,000 life points to keep him from playing, and it was worth it. So, he scooped it up. I kept the Unending Nightmare sided in for game 3 because I know Zephyrs can't OTK. So it's like, I'm just going to run into a few trap cards and a few hand traps, and I'm still going to set this Unending Nightmare and go draw Unending Nightmare, blow up scale, stand my face, Unending Nightmare, blow up scale. Main phase 1, blow up Oracle. But I never got into the Unending Nightmare, so... and he just kept pinning some of these one at a time, just kept getting counter trap after counter trap after counter trap. And I really couldn't do anything. So counter traps are just incredibly strong. I went against a hybrid. I will tell you about that later. Because that was like my most spectacular match. My opponent got so tilted. No, that was round 5. Round 6 was Paleos. Oh, wait. No, the hybrid, no, that wasn't that match. Swift 2-0 was the hybrid. I won the dice roll, won the match. Paleo, I ended up losing the die roll, and I won that match. Shoutouts to you, Dimitri, by the way. I heard you actually got top 64. Let me know if that's true. Good guy. We went to game 3. I hit him with Hatronade. Game 1, He gave me game one because as we were playing, um, he hits me with a stake in the middle of my combo game one, and so I decided to make Unicorn co-link with Imduck so I can go ahead and spin back his mistake. But I do that as chain link 1, Imduck is chain link 2. And so, in the midst of all this, he's just asking, he asks, well, for hypothetically, yeah, that's the one. Hypothetically, if I'd ask, since it's co-link, could I stop the whole effect? And I said, well, yeah, you can. And he asks me, and I'm still playing it, and then later on in that combo, I realized, wait a minute. I chain blocked Unicorn. I ended up chain blocking that card, so it's like, how? Like, how did that, so, I found out it was an illegal activation, so he gave me that game. In game 3, I hit him with the Hatronade, and, well, Hatronade wins games against back row, so there's that. Round 7 was a hybrid. That was my most spectacular game. And then I won the die roll, won the match. Then round 8 was my second most spectacular match. Was against Mech Knight Invoked. I lost the die roll, and we ended in a draw. Because fuck time. And round 9, I played against Pure Sky Strikers, lost the die roll, and Swift 2-0'd him. He had Ash both games, he went first both games, and I OTK'd him both games. Just easy pickings. Round 10, I win that die roll. That's when I went to day 2 was round 10. I won that die roll. I played against Pure Sky Strikers. I figured that out. And so I thought I had an easy win, but the thing about it was I got so tilted off this match because, one, I think he might have stacked me. And all that good stuff, but I'm not all that sure. Because literally game 1 and game 2, he gave me both Lazuli and Brilliant Fusion both games. That has never happened in the history of the entire tournament. I've never done that. I don't think that's ever happened to me. Period. Like, opening Lazuli is multiple games is one thing, but opening both Lazuli and Brilliant Fusion, and then opening Lazuli and double Brilliant Fusion game 2, that I wasn't buying, but, that's whatever, but, it gets even worse because game 1, he just has absolutely everything, so I go Venus and he impermanences, I'm like, you know what, that's fine, that gave me knowledge that he's either playing Sky Strikers or Trick Stars, because I'm like, I doubt Altergeist made it today too. But he just draws absolutely godly. He has like double engage. He desires, doesn't banish a single copy of Widowmaker. Doesn't even banish his third engage. And he engages like Pot of Grease like 3 times. Like he engages into a Widowmaker and he plays a field spell and multi-roll. And he targets the Widowmaker. The set Widowmaker with the field spell, he hits another Widowmaker. And then I guess he got into the third one with an engage, even though he played Desire. So I'm like, whatever. But I didn't know he had 3. I thought I was for sure he banished 1. So he sets 2, and he goes in phase, he sets engage, and he sets Widowmaker, and he passes. And I go draw. I kaiju over his Shizuku, so now all of his back row's offline. And I'm free to play the game. So, I go Venus, activate, I draw into Venus for turn, by the way. So, that was awesome. So I go, Lake Spider, Imduck, Tribute for World Legacy, so I can make Saryuja and chain block it with Legacy. And they were both successful. So I draw 4 and I bottom deck 3. And on Resolution, he tries to droll me. And then I activate Call by the Grave. He has another droll. And apparently you can chain droll in the same chain, even though I go, have Call by the Grave, because I guess that window is still open. But I'm like, whatever. And so he just has absolutely everything. So I make Ningirsu, and I send the card where I know for a fact was Widowmaker that was set by multi-roll. And so I go Firewall and make Trigate, and I banished one of his other unknowns because I don't care about Engage as long as I can go in for OTK. And I hit a second Window Anchor, so I'm like, alright, this is perfect. Now I'm free to attack for game. So I link into a Ibn, I drop Christia on the board and go Firewall bounce the Kaiju. And I go Battle Phase. And I send Christia into attack. What does he have? He has a third Widow Anchor set, a third one. So I'm like, you know what? This is ridiculous at this point. So he gets like the God Hand and he gets the God Desires, gets the double droll. Like he just literally had everything he needed. I did everything right, but he just seemed to just have every single little piece he needed to make sure I didn't win that duel. So it's whatever. Game 2, he gives me, again, Lazuli Double Brilliant Fusion, plus World Legacy, and I couldn't really do much, so I got super tilted, because I'm like, okay, there's no way this should happen 2 times in a row. Because it doesn't happen all yesterday, it didn't happen Thursday, it didn't happen, it doesn't happen, so that's why I'm like, okay, you had to stack me. So, anyway, there's that. I will go over my round 7 and my round 8 match later. I will end up doing a deck profile. It'll probably be up tomorrow. Shoutouts to Manuel Alvarez, by the way. I ended up, it was fun playing mirror matches against you and all that good stuff. So, that was fun. Nice meeting you. I met a couple other people that knew me from the channel. It was pretty nice. I signed Lee's. I signed Guard Dragons. I signed Christia's. I signed 2 playmats. And, it was nice. And I met up at Team APS. We traded. And, like, no lie, we were way in the back trading. And then they called for round 4. And they said, you have 4 minutes. You may now begin. And I have all my tins out. And I'm just scrounging my stuff. And I ended up, we couldn't finish up the trade. I was trying to find him later so we could finish up the trade. Because he wanted my Electromite and a Master Cerberus. And I was looking through his stuff and I saw an Ibly. I pulled that Ibly and 2 Unizombies. And when they called that stuff, it was like, we'll just keep this stuff and we'll fight each other later. Didn't find them, so, well, I negged. So, but, I got him at some of my playmats, so it was nice to meet the guy and everything, so there's that. So I just scrambled, just wrapped up everything, just shoved everything in my bag, just ran to wherever my match was. Then it didn't help that there was like poor connection in there, so I couldn't really connect. So I had to like try to connect like 3-4 times. I'm like, man, I'm just gonna give my opponent a fucking game loss. But anyway, there's that. And well, yeah, I ended up getting 146. Which I guess isn't like the worst thing in the world. So yeah, that's. I had lots of fun, by the way. I didn't get to play these high events. I really wanted to play the 3v3s, because that seemed like a lot of fun and everything. So yeah, I picked up zombies, by the way. I picked up solitaires, bazookies, Unizombies. I need to get them goblin zombies and them zombie masters because I got plans. I got plans with nice one zombies with summon sorceress combos. Everybody's just seen that freaking combo or that guy's channel with the zombies. Everybody's hopping on that. But anyway, there's gonna be part 2. I'll end up going over round 7 and round 8 because that's a bit lengthy. And all that good stuff. Thank you guys very much for all the support and all that good stuff. You guys were awesome, and a lot of people had faith in me in this one. Because especially the people that were in the that massive tournament on Thursday, the fact that I just continuously kept 2-0ing people and all that good stuff, It made people rethink that I could possibly top, maybe even win the Nats. But the problem with this Nats was I played against a lot more Rogue, and that's what I struggled. I struggled more against Rogue than I did against Meta. I didn't play much Meta. I played three hybrids. And well, I didn't play any like pure Trickstars. I played against like one pure Sky Striker, and yeah. So those were my matches. And again, round 10, I'm not positive that I got stacked, but I'm pretty sure he stacked me. But you know, that's whatever. He didn't even make top cut anyway, so I don't think I would have. So I guess 75th would have been as high as I can get. But it's nice to know that another World Challenge player did get top 64. I would really like to know what his matchups were. That's the real one. Because his deck profiles, it's kind of questionable. But he got top 64 and I didn't, which means, you know, something went right along the way. Me, I wanted to play against more hybrids. I wanted to play against more Sky Striker Trickstars because if I were to play against more Sky Striker Trickstars, I would just auto win that matchup all day, every day. No problem. But I couldn't get that. I couldn't continuously play against that matchup. He probably played against that. I've heard some people play like 8 Sky Striker Trickstars day 1. I'm like, where was all that with me? Give me all that. So some people got luckier matchups than I did. But it's whatever. I had a good time. So yeah, we had a lot of amazing people. You know, I met all the big YouTubers. DZ was literally right behind me when on pre-reg when we were in the line, trying to go through the security. And I didn't even know it. I saw him a couple times. Tried to get him to sign my mat, but I just could not find him. Like, and every time I saw him, I was in a match. So, but that's besides the point. Anyway, thank you guys very much for watching. This is J Money, and I am signing out.